Welcome to an episode of r/slash Entitled Parents, where we share stories of moms or dads thinking that because they have kids, they are entitled to everything. Kick back and enjoy these several stories we're about to share with you, and at the end, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Now, on to the stories. And this next story is posted by u/xsavageXavierX. EM bashes dad's windows in over me not coming home. So, a bit of background. This story happened when I was about 14 or 15. Me and my dad had recently met and started to bond. My grandparents had custody of me and allowed me to go to my dad's house literally anytime I wanted so that I could have a real parent in my life. My mother wasn't happy about this because, well, she's my mom. She wasn't happy with any positive relationship I had with anyone, especially if I wasn't jumping through hoops to make her happy. So, during this time, my grandparents planned a vacation to Las Vegas. They gave me full permission to go stay at my dad's house for 2 weeks, and they hired a sitter for my younger siblings and their home. Cast: me is me, Dad is Dad, EM is my crazy mom, SS stepsister, SM stepmom, BS babysitter. So it starts off as any regular day at my dad's house. Me and SS gets up, do some chores around the house, play fight with the wet wash rag after washing dishes, the normal teenage life. SM wakes up and makes breakfast while we play with BS. My dad is sleeping because it happens to be a weekend and he doesn't work weekends unless he gets called in. Well, if I didn't have such crappy cell service, I would have been able to warn all of them of the storm approaching, but I had no service at my dad's house, so I didn't receive any of the calls from EM or my grandparents. Randomly, we hear a truck pull up in the front yard. It's EM's black truck. SM: is that your mom? Me: I guess so. SM: I'm gonna go wake your dad up. A few minutes later, my dad is at the front door and he's talking to EM. EM: tell my daughter to pack her shite and come on. Dad: no, we have permission for her to stay here while her grandparents are in Vegas. She's not going anywhere unless she wants to. My SM is whispering to me now. SM: do you want to go with your mom? It's okay if you do. We won't be angry with you. Me: no, I really like to stay if that's okay. I really wanted to spend more time with you guys so when school starts I can stay here more on school days. SM: that's perfectly fine with us. We're always happy to have you here. As long as you want to be here, we won't let anything happen to you. By this time, you can hear my EM going off. EM: she's my daughter. I will call the police if you don't bring her out here right now. Dad: I'll go talk to her. Stay here. Slams the door in her face. Dad: do you want to go back with your mom? SM: she says she'd like to stay here. We talked while we were handling her. Dad: you don't have to go anywhere. Do you want to tell her yourself that you want to stay? Me: can you do it, please? I don't really want her to yell at me. She has a way of making me feel bad every time I try to talk to her. Dad: of course. Maybe it's best if everyone goes to the back rooms. We all start moving towards the back of the house. All we can hear is screaming now. EM: where is that effing brat? Come out here right now. Calls me by my middle name. You aren't staying here. Dad: get off my property. If you don't leave, I'm calling the police. My SM and SS hide me in the closet and give me a baseball bat. EM: you can't keep her from me. She's my daughter. She has to come with me. All we hear after this is the sound of glass being smashed, something sounding like metal against metal, and then her truck driving off. Eventually, we all go outside to see. All of the cars have their windows smashed in, and the paint and sides are scraped up pretty bad. My dad, bless him, didn't call the cops. Not sure why. He did call my grandparents, though, and they explained that they had tried to contact me to give me a heads up that EM would be on her way over. Apparently, when they told her they gave me permission to stay with my dad while they were on vacation, she lost her mind. Everything was fine after that. We laughed it off and pretty much told stories of how crazy EM has been even before I was born. My dad said he wouldn't talk badly of her because he didn't believe in that, but said this was the second time she smashed his windows in, his truck in, and told me that he doesn't hold any resentments towards her now, but she made his life hell after I was born. The stories my SM told were pretty funny too. My EM was so crazy she didn't let them anywhere near me, so they'd have to get in contact with my aunts to find out when and where my sports tournaments were or my concerts. Then they showed me videos of my games and concerts to show me that they had always been there for me, even if I didn't know they existed. My EM had told me at a young age that my dad died, so I had no idea I had a dad until I was in middle school. Besides my EM going crazy, it was a really nice day. I've always been grateful for them. My dad passed away a few months after I turned 18, so he's been dead for a few years. I've never forgiven my EM for the time I missed out on with him. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, and as usual, not word, just what I got from memory. And this next story is posted by Captain Nutsack. EPs make my employee cry, gets their free meal voucher revoked. Before we begin, a little bit of backstory. I am a manager for a chain sushi restaurant somewhere in the western United States. This restaurant chain offers something very special to a select few customers who either show that they deserve it, aka spend so much on sushi over time, or make a good enough impression on the staff that they recommend you get one. Doesn't happen nearly as often as you think. A set of platinum chopsticks that entitles you to as much free sushi as you can stuff your gut with. The cast. EM is the blonde demon woman. EK is rotten crotch goblin. D is the father whose sanity I question for staying with this woman. E is employee. The day started off like any other day, going in at 10:30, calling an all-hands meeting, getting everyone pepped up and ready for the day's opening, prepping counter space and cleaning utensils. You know, the typical restaurant stuff. We're about 10 minutes from opening when one of my newer employees, E, walks in. She used her front door key and just came right on in. Unfortunately, EK, EM, and D all followed in soon after her. At this restaurant, it's custom to seat yourself and a member of wait staff to come take orders. And when I say custom, I mean there are signs literally every 5 feet on every bench and table side saying to be seated and wait. Now, from this point in the story, I'm piercing everyone together from E's side of the story and what I saw on security tapes after handling the issue in person. The dastardly trio walks in, instead of being seated, walks directly up to the cashier's desk, which there's nobody currently at because we're still 5 minutes from officially opening. EM, can we get some darn service? E then snaps to attention and hops directly over to the desk. EM, I want my free sushi and I want it now. She then slams the platinum chopsticks on the counter and starts spouting off everything on the menu she wanted. E verifies that these are her chopsticks with some difficulty. Each pair is specifically registered to one person with a serial number stamped on the side. E, will it just be you ordering today? These chopsticks only entitle the person they're registered with to free food. EM, no. These chopsticks mean I get as much as I want, and I want enough for me and my family. E, I'm very sorry, ma'am, but the contract that you signed to get those chopsticks clearly stated that you were only allowed one serving of your choosing at a time. Plus, the EM, listen here, you snot-nosed brat. I don't care what you say. You're going to give me my free food or I'll go to your manager and have you tossed out. Serve me now. It's at this point I'm brought into the picture. E comes stumbling into my office, tears streaming down her face, and 3 other employees right behind her to quickly relay the story. I'll spare you the rest of the details as there was some not so clean language spoken between me and Entitled Mom, but here are some of the highlights. Entitled Kid decided it would be a good idea to run around every table and knock over all of the soy sauce bottles, the ones from Kikkoman that don't have a lid. Then run over to the drink machine behind the employees only counter and completely soak himself. Entitled Mom starts shrieking at the top of her lungs that she's going to get what she wants and we're going to pay for her son's dry cleaning before throwing a peppermint bowl beside the register across the room. Meanwhile, D just stands there like this is all normal and smiles. Before everything was said and done, she managed to not only get her platinum chopsticks revoked, but she was also gifted a lovely pair of matching bracelets by a local police officer. E was sent home for the rest of the day with full pay while I took over her spot on that shift. Luckily, the rest of the day went smoothly. And this story is posted by u/Von_Kittenstein. Is an in-law still a parent? The story of I Know the Owner. So a few weeks ago, me and a friend went to a yay quarantine is lifted happy hour together. She apologized, but said she had to invite her mother-in-law as because the woman, EP, had wanted to go to the same restaurant the same day and might have shown up anyway. We were there for maybe 15 minutes and got our drinks and a basket of bread and placed our order of appetizers, seated indoors in nice AC. In comes EP. We see her, and my friend, let's call her Emily, waves at her. EP waves back, but is still at the hostess stand for a good 10 minutes. A long time when you're sitting there trying to wonder what she's doing. We have a table. The restaurant was for sure busy as heck and had to wait. The poor hostess looked disgruntled. Finally, EP comes over and sits down. EP, I asked for a patio table. I told her I know the owner and they always take care of me. We were uncomfortable because we hadn't wanted one or to go outside at all. But she didn't ask us, she just went for it. I honestly knew this was going to get worse. 10 or 15 minutes later, she's twisting around and making a show of how she's looking for someone. EP, I always sit at the bar here. I never pay for my drinks. They always buy my drinks for me. I think that's the owner right there with his friends. She points to a group of people standing and laughing. His name is John, I think. The waiter comes over. She complains we still haven't been resat. He says he will check on it. She says, I know the owner. I want a table over by them now. Just pull some chairs. The waiter tried to explain they're only allowed to seat every other table and there weren't free ones available. She looks indignant and says, I'm going to go over there and ask him myself. Waiter leaves. She starts complaining to us about something or other. Emily had warned me that EP is a bit much. She waves again at the passing waiter that isn't our guy. He comes over. EP, is that the owner over there? Waiter, yes, that's him. EP, what's his name again? Waiter, Mark. So she jumps up and runs over there and pretends like she knows him with her. Oh my God, haven't seen you in forever. It's so good to see you. She didn't even know his name. We were forced by her to move to a table next to his group where he didn't want to speak to her, but she kept twisting to make eye contact at him. Even bought him a shot. He didn't accept it. The bill for the end of the night was $370. Both Emily and EP ordered food to go for their husbands. I had the waiter split my check off from theirs. EP insisted she pay the rest herself without Emily pitching in. Emily was uncomfortable, but got the tip instead. Sounds good, right? Like a generous ending? No. Emily told me a week later that EP emailed the restaurant and threw a fit saying the bill was wrong and how dare they mischarge her and it was so unprofessional and how the three of us couldn't have racked up that much. We were there for 4 hours and they both ordered premium stuff from the non-happy hour menu. It was 100% accurate. I'm so embarrassed. I never want to go anywhere with her again. This has been TNA Top Notch Audio. 3 great funny stories. And my question to you is, which one of these stories are your favorites and why? Share your comments below, and also don't forget to subscribe so you can get notification of more videos in the future. Have yourselves a great day.